Police say hundreds of people are out searching for 16-year-old Kayla Huff in parts of Rudolph Bennett Conservation Area near Clark, Missouri. The Randolph County Sheriff's Office says Huff has been missing since Wednesday morning, and recent information led the search to begin there. The search.
Randolph County Sheriff's Office and MOBERLY Police Department arrested a 17-year-old today in connection to 16-year-old Kayla Huff, who went missing on Wednesday. Officials say Huff remains missing and search efforts are still ongoing. Investigators allegedly received information that Huff may be in the Rudolph Bennett Conservation Area.
Kayla Huff went missing out of Missouri. Unfortunately, they did find her body. So my condolences go out to the family. And there is now, as of today, 5 suspects in custody over what has happened to her. We're going to get down to the details about who these 5 people are, what they have done in the past. So we're going to break all this down like we always do. Fugitive TV, stay tuned. Welcome to Fugitive TV, and I am your host, Ray Marcel. And what we do here is we take a look at cases of missing individuals, cases of unsolved crimes. And what we try and do here is we try and put a spotlight on it. We do a deep dive into the case, all right? So a lot of times I'll give you a deeper dive than what the media is giving you. And sometimes I'll give you a different perspective on a situation, because once I was a fugitive on the run from the law myself. I lived in different countries under different names. So I know what it's like to run from the law. I mean, I did it for 15 years before I turned myself in. Now I help locate missing people with for family members. I help locate other fugitives for family members. You know, they need to be brought to justice. Well, right now, what we're going to do is take a deep dive of the case of Kayla Huff. Now, Kayla Huff originally went missing out of Missouri. All right. Now we're going to get into all the details. I'm going to read you guys an article, but she has been found. Her remains were found, unfortunately. So my condolences go out to the family. Now they have arrested 5 individuals. Okay. All dealing with the vanish, kidnapping, and unfortunately the demise of Kayla Huff. All right. Now, Kayla Huff was only 16. So it took 5 individuals to do all this to this poor young girl, which is horrible. All right. Now we're going to break down who exactly these 5 people are. We're going to get into their backgrounds, because I did background searches on all of them. And we're going to I'm going to give you guys just a gist of, you know, where she went missing from, the situation. And not only that, I'm going to tell you guys most likely how they found where she was at and how all these people even got arrested in the first place. All right. So like I said, Kayla Huff originally went missing. Now, what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to read you a report of when she first went missing. It was May 6th. So let's get into that. All right. So this article is from KOMU.com. Okay. And it says hundreds of volunteers, law enforcement service members helped Friday in the search for 16-year-old Kayla Huff, who has been missing since May 6. People searched on foot and horseback, and local law enforcement used drones to drive and locate Huff. Huff's last reported sightings was around 10:20 a.m. the morning of May 6th in Randolph County. Sheriff Andy Boggs said the Huff family said Kayla was not home and her car was abandoned on, Roland Street in the front of Assembly of God Church in Moberly. Now, that is what alarmed people. Was her car was found abandoned. Of course, she was not by her car. Boggs said investigators received information from the public that Huff may be in the Rudolph Bennett Conservation Area. The area covers about 5.5 square miles near the junction of Boone, Howard, and Randolph counties, according to the Missouri Department of Conservation. So they got a pretty much a tip that where she was at. So we're going to get into that right now. Let me get to the article. So this right here Okay. 17-year-old arrested in connection to the disappearance of missing teenager Kayla Huff. Okay. Now, they're not going to give you the name. Some states, like I'm here in Florida, they don't care if you're 9. They're going to blast your name out all over the news, even if you stole a pack of now laters. They're going to blast your name out in the news here in Florida, even if you're 9 years old. Other states, if you're under the age of 18, they try and keep your name private. Well, so they're not going to give you the name. So it says a 17-year-old juvenile was arrested in connection to the disappearance of 16-year-old Kayla Huff, according to a news release from Randolph Sheriff Andy Boggs. Boggs said Kayla is still missing and search efforts are ongoing as Saturday afternoon volunteers and law enforcement are in Rudolph Bennett Conservation Area Saturday searching for Kayla, according to the release. Boggs said any information on Kayla's whereabouts or details surrounding her disappearance should be directed to the Randolph County Sheriff's Office. Then it says hundreds of volunteers have been volunteering, the search for her. And then it tells you the same details as before, that is 5 square miles. So you see right there, a 17-year-old was the first person arrested. Now, I guarantee you this is exactly what happened. When they arrested the 17-year-old, now we don't know if it's a guy or a girl, but I'm pretty sure I'm thinking it's a girl. So when they arrested the 17-year-old, I'm pretty sure the 17-year-old got threatened, got interrogated, investigated, whatever you want to put it. They put him into that room with that desk that you guys see on TV with that chair, and 2 investigators came in there and started questioning and put the fear of life in the 17-year-old. And I'm pretty sure they told the 17-year-old, hey, we know you're probably not the mastermind behind all this. So what made you do all this? You still have a long life to live. So why don't you give us to other individuals? Let us do a good thing and let us know where Kayla's at. Okay. If you do this, it will look good in the court. It'll look good in the judge. So basically asking the 17-year-old to tell pretty much what happens. So let's get into the next article and you're going to see. So you're going to see right here, after they arrested the 17-year-old, 3 charged with kidnapping and a disappearance of the Moberly teen. Okay. Columbia. 3 people have been arrested and charged in a connection to the disappearance of 16-year-old Kayla Huff. Randolph County Prosecution Attorney Stephanie Lansford said Wednesday court documents allege that Elena Mason and another person kidnapped a person in Randolph County on May 6, the same day that Kayla Huff went missing. Christopher Knoll and Hunter Ames allegedly aided in the crime. And Ames allegedly supplied a gun used to shoot or fire upon the person who went missing, according to the court documents. So I'm pretty sure the person who went missing that they're talking about is Kayla Huff. So Elena Mason and these 2 individuals, helped kidnap Kayla. One of the individuals gave their weapon allegedly so that they can fire upon Kayla. Now, excuse me, in YouTube world, we have to be careful with certain words we say or the video gets flagged and it doesn't get spread to the masses. All right. After that, it says probable cause statements filled in each suspect's case redacted the name of the person who was kidnapped, but the statements' descriptions of the incident match the details Huff's parents have shared since she went missing a week ago. So in the court documents, they're not saying it's Kayla who was kidnapped, but everybody knows, and the parents confirm pretty much by the description that they're talking about Kayla. Hull 23 and Ames 19 are charged with first-degree kidnapping and tampering with physical evidence in a felony prosecution, according to the court documents. Mason 20 is charged with first-degree kidnapping and also faces other charges in connection to a stolen Randolph Sheriff's County Office patrol case, according to court documents. Now, these are the individuals right here: Elena Mason, Christopher Hull, and Hunter Ames. Randolph County Sheriff's Office said last week that a 17-year-old was also arrested, and that's the one we talked about prior, right? In connection to Huff's disappearance. The Randolph County Juvenile Office has declined to provide any information about the 17-year-old's case. All three suspects have arraignment scheduled for 1:30 p.m. Thursday, which was today, at the Randolph County Circuit Court in connection to the kidnapping case. Investigators determined that Mason and another suspected kidnapper kidnapped the missing person, according to the probable cause statements. AIM allegedly told investigators that in the late morning of May 6, the suspects woke him up asking for his GUN. They told him they had someone in the trunk of a white Chevy Impala, and that they needed AIM's weapon to take care of it, according to the probable cause statement. Ames allegedly allowed them to take his weapon, and they left in a Chevy Impala. Why? Oh my God. Oh my God. Sometimes I read these things and I think about how stupid these individuals are. I mean, I'm so happy that these guys are just dumb and have the IQ of a P, but at the same time, it's like, you're really that dumb? You're that dumb? Here, just go ahead and borrow my weapon. Oh, we got somebody in the back of a trunk tied up. Oh, you don't ask who it is. You don't say what happened. Did they owe you any money? You don't say nothing. Just here, yeah, borrow my weapon. Go ahead, take care of them. What? Come on. And that's if he's telling the truth about this. If he didn't go out there himself. Ames allegedly allowed them to take his weapon, and they left in a white Chevy Impala, according to probable cause statement. Video surveillance facing the east side of Ames' residence cooperated with statements provided by Ames, according to the probable cause statement. Ames stated Mason told him they took the individual to Rudolph Bennett Conservation Area, dragged the victim from the trunk of the vehicle, assaulted the victim, and then fired upon the victim. Now, allegedly, they assaulted the victim with a baton, is what I found out. So they assaulted her with the baton and then decided to fire after that. According to probable cause statement, they tortured her pretty much. Horrible. Search parties have been searching for through their Rudolph Bennett Conservation Area for days. So at this point, remember, they didn't find her yet, right? So at this part, they didn't find her. But remember, I told you about the 17-year-old. The 17-year-old led them to the three, okay? Now, it also says, in interviews conducted to an investigation, Ho allegedly said he had participated in aiding in kidnapping and assisted in discarding evidence or detouring law enforcement, according to a probable cause statement. So basically, hiding the evidence, hiding the weapons, okay? And then when law enforcement called him, he probably gave them a bogus response. An officer also spoke with a witness that stated Mason called them on May 6, asking for help because she and another suspect had kidnapped an individual, taken them to Rudolph Bennett Conservation Area, assaulted them, and then fired upon them, according to a probable cause statement. So there's another person that this girl, Elena, called to. So she calling everybody to try and get help. Another person that's an idiot. Like I said, I'm glad they're idiots. The probable cause statement said the witness did not think anything of it at the time, but when the missing person case was made public, the witness believed that Mason had told him was true. Luceford said first-degree kidnapping cases aren't common in Randolph County, but the county has seen them before. The kidnapping charges carry a range of punishment of 5 to 15 years in Missouri Department of Corrections, but the charges could be upgraded if Huff is found, and we all know Huff was found. So you mean to tell me this girl Elena right here, Elena Mason, okay, not only took her, put her in the trunk, but was going around asking people for help. Now, I don't know if you caught earlier, it also said that she stole a police car. So it says Moberly woman charged with 3 felonies after theft of patrol car, okay? A Moberly woman faces 3 charges after she allegedly stole a fully marked Randolph County Sheriff's Office patrol car and fled from law enforcement on Thursday, Elena Mason, 20, faces 2 Class C felonies, stealing a motor vehicle and stealing a firearm. 1 Class E felony, escaping custody while under arrest. Mason was first detained Thursday during an investigation in MOBERLY, according to a probable cause statement. She stole the patrol car and fled from police after she was placed in the passenger seat of the vehicle and put in handcuffs. At the time of the incident, there were multiple firearms inside the vehicle, according to the probable cause. Oh my God. So the officer working and did this also had a low IQ. What's going on here? At the time of the incident, there were multiple firearms inside the vehicle. Law enforcement located Mason hiding inside a residence and damaged handcuffs shortly after her escape, according to statements. She allegedly admitted to stealing the vehicle while in custody, and according to statement, Mason is being held at Randolph County Jail without bond. She has an arraignment set for I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. So they went to her to talk to her about what was going on. So remember, they arrested the 17-year-old, okay? And I told you what happened with the 17-year-old. I don't even have to be there to let you know what happened, okay? They arrested the 17-year-old and they interrogated him for I don't know how long it took him to break, but he broke and told, hey, Elena, help me. Because remember, in the other statement, he said they woke him up asking to use his weapon. All right. So Elena helped the 17-year-old kidnap her. Now, I have read reports. I don't know if this is true, but I read reports that I guess the 17-year-old is related to Elena. So this would explain probably why Elena helped him, but it wouldn't explain why she's calling everybody for help after that. She didn't know what to do. Then, on top of somebody not knowing what to do, they go and detain her. So it sounds like she wasn't under arrest, but she was detained. He didn't throw her in the back of the cop car. He put her in the passenger seat to detain her, but also was weapons in the car. So this woman sounds like she had the cuffs on the front, was able to get a hold of one of the weapons and then jump in the driver's seat and take off. All right, so right here it says 4th person charged in a connection to the death of Kayla Huff, okay? A 4th person has been charged in connection to the disappearance of MOBERLY teen Kayla Huff, who was found unalive Wednesday night. Now, we can't use the M word here on a small channel like mine, M-U-R-D-E-R. We have to say unalive, red rum, whatever you want to call it. Unfortunately, we can't until I get more subscribers. So please like and subscribe. Help me get to 30,000 subscribers by the end of summer. Julian Mason, 26, of MOBERLY, was charged with tampering with witness and a felony prosecution Thursday morning. So Julian Mason, okay, right here. All right. So could Julian Mason be related to Elena Mason? I mean, they look alike, right? They look alike. So Julian Mason, 26, of MOBERLY, was charged with tampering with witness and a felony prosecution Thursday morning. Court documents allege that Elena Mason, another individual, kidnapped a person in Randolph County. The other individual is the 17-year-old. All right. Elena Mason, Hall, and Arms are charged with kidnapping in the 1st degree. Hall and Arms also face charges in tampering with evidence and a felony prosecution. Court documents detailing what Elena Mason, Julian Mason, Hall, and Ames are accused of doing share many overlapping phrases and details. Court documents say the group worked together to make Huff's car stop running by pouring motor oil in the gas tank. So they sabotaged Kayla's car so it could stop working. Meaning, these people had a plan. There was a plan set already. There was no spare in the moment. So this has to be a 1st degree M charge, okay? It's gotta be. Witnesses advised Julian Mason held a funnel into the gas tank while another person poured oil into it, according to court documents. Julian Mason arraignment will be held at Randolph County Court 1:30 p.m. Thursday, which was today. Court records show Julian Mason has a criminal history. He pleaded guilty to multiple charges of 2nd-degree burglary, multiple charges stealing $750 more of, well as single charges tampering with motor vehicle. We're going to get in all that because I told you I did a background check on him. So we are going to get into that. Now, here's another article which gets a little more into the details. It gets more into the court documents, all right? Randolph County, Missouri. A Moberly woman who was arrested last week after allegedly stealing a Randolph County deputy's vehicle is now charged with first-degree kidnapping and the disappearance of 16-year-old Kayla Huff. 20-year-old Elena Lean Mason was formally charged on Wednesday in Randolph County. Two additional suspects, Hunter Ames and Christopher Knoll, were charged with kidnapping and felony evidence of tampering. Huff has been missing since May 6th. Dozens of volunteers went searching for her. Then it talks about Huff was last seen with a 17-year-old male who was taken into custody last week. I didn't even read this article yet, but remember I told you guys the 17-year-old, what did I say? They said the 17-year-old had to be a male. I knew the 17-year-old was a male. It made sense. So I'm wondering if the 17-year-old was also allegedly like the boyfriend or somebody she was seeing. According to a probable cause statement, investigators determined Huff was last seen around 10 a.m. walking with the juvenile suspect. He later told deputies he visited Huff earlier that morning, that the two rode together in a vehicle and that the vehicle broke down on Route EE. Deputies confirmed the vehicle was found inoperable at the location. So they were riding in a vehicle and then the vehicle broke down. But I read to you what happened. Okay, Julian Mason put the funnel in the vehicle and they put motor oil where the gas is supposed to go. So this was a plan. Then the 17-year-old comes, gets with Kayla, they get into the vehicle and then the vehicle breaks down. This was all a plan. And I'm pretty sure the 17-year-old was in on this plan. Surveillance video shows the 17-year-old arriving at Mason's residence. We read that part. No, we didn't. Sorry. Residents at around 10:34 a.m. in a white Chevrolet Impala, identified by its tires and spotlight. The video shows him at the residence until 10:57 a.m. when he gets back in the driver's seat and a female matching Mason's description, who's the 20-year-old, enters the passenger side. The vehicle returns to the residence at approximately 12:16 p.m. Okay. Investigators interviewed multiple witnesses who reported that Mason admitted she and a juvenile placed Huff in the trunk of a vehicle, drove her to Rudolph Bennett Conservation Area, assaulted her with a blunt object, which I believe was the bayonet, and then fired on her. One witness told deputies the juvenile admitted to providing Mason with the firearm and confirmed she told him they had kidnapped and fired upon Huff. Another witness reported receiving a call from Mason around 12:25 p.m. on May 6, during which she allegedly said she needed help because she and a juvenile had kidnapped an individual, taken them to the woods, assaulted them, and shot them. The witness said he did not initially believe the claim, but considered after Huff's disappearance became public. Oh man, the probable cause statement also notes that when Mason was taken into custody on May 7th, she had a rash consistent with poison ivy, people. Mason reportedly told jail staff the rash came from being in the woods. Oh my God, you people are stupid. Investigators said this detail aligns with the allegations involving the conservation area. Deputies also documented activity for May 5th. A known associate told investigators that Mason retrieved motor oil from a truck and poured it into the fuel tank of a vehicle belonging to someone connected to the juvenile suspect. All right. A search warrant for Mason's phone records placed her device near the location around 3 a.m., collaborating with the witness account. Investigators wrote that Huff has not been seen or heard from since May 6th, and that all her personal belongings were left at her residence. All right. The statement concludes that the circumstances included foul play. So it sounds like to me that Elena, she was the mastermind of this. She was the mastermind of this. She's the one making the calls. She is the one orchestrating all this. And she's got all these other people helping her. So all these other people are about to go down because they listen to the stupid individual, okay? And maybe they all need to go down because maybe they're all stupid. So what I'm going to do right here is we're going to get into Julian Mason's background report. All right. So 2025, last year in November, he had possession of controlled substance. Okay. So he just got that. All right. And it looks like that case is still going. Then he also has tampering with motor vehicle, first degree felony. All right. So he got that March 24th, 2022. All right. That's when it happened. Then he has petty theft, 2018. He got that. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Probable cause, assault, fourth degree, harassment, first degree. Okay. So, and then burglary, first degree, felony warrant, parole violation, people. Parole means you went to prison. So it sounds like to me, he assaulted somebody, harassed them, okay? Probably broke into a home to do it all. So this man's already showing that he's violent. Tampering with first degree with the motor vehicle, airplane, motorboat, stealing less than 150, burglary second degree, stealing 750 or more, burglary second degree. So he's got two separate burglary charges, 2018 and burglary again, 2019, guys. Then stealing less than $150, okay? The burglary degree. So it sounds like he broke into something and stole something. It sounds like what it was. Felony warrant parole violation. Then parole violation for law enforcement purposes only, all right? So he had a warrant out for his arrest for all this stuff. Now, all of this, it tells you when the charges are filed, 2023, okay? And I'm trying to see right here exactly if what the prison term was, because it did say he was on parole. Sentence, 5 years. 5 years. So he got sentenced to 5 years. It looks like 2000, around 2019, okay? So he did get sentenced to 5 years, which explains why he would be out right now. So this man got out, wasted no time, and starts acting a fool again. That's crazy. And I mean, the charge is still going. Tampering with motor vehicle, first degree. That's crazy. Now let's go into Elena. Elena doesn't have much. Exceeded post speed limit. She has traffic tickets. And then, of course, she also has leaving the scene of an accident in 2020, 2025. Okay, which was a misdemeanor. So it sounds like to me, all these individuals need to be locked up. All of them need to be locked up. Actually, they haven't been charged with her death yet. So I'm wondering if they're going to wait for the autopsy, right, to confirm that it's her, because they haven't been charged yet, and probably wait to see, you know, exactly what she died from until they charged them. Now, I wonder if all of them are going to get charged, or maybe just a couple of them. Now, I did look up the law because every state has a different law for this. Now, I don't know if you guys ever heard of this law. It's called felony red rum, felony unaliving. Remember, we can't say the N word here or the video does not get spread out. Basically, what this law is, I'm going to read to you. Under Missouri's felony M rule, individuals present during a felony can be charged with second degree unaliving if a death occurs, even if they did not directly unalive the person. If someone dies during a commission or flight from a felony, accomplices can be held liable. So meaning, let's say you and a few people decide you guys want to break into a home one day, okay? So you guys break into the home, meaning that right there by itself, you're committing a felony. Just breaking in the home, breaking an entry, burglary, that is a felony. Somebody's at home, okay? The owner comes out, whatever it is. Let's say you didn't pull the trigger. You didn't do none of that. Let's just say you just ran from the house, but the person you was with decided to pull the trigger and unalive the owner of the home, right? you're still going to get charged. You might not get first degree, but you'll get second degree. So you'll get charged with felony unaliving because you were in the middle of committing a felony. All right. So you committed the felony, which led to the person being unalived. I've seen people, okay? Let's say you and 3 other people are breaking into a home. Let's say the owner comes out with his own weapon. Let's say the owner fires at you guys. And let's say one of you guys get unalived. Let's say your friend gets unalived, whatever it is, and you leave the scene. You can even still be charged with the unaliving. You can get second degree unaliving, even though you guys broke into the house together. You know you didn't pull the trigger because you guys are breaking the house together. But here's the key. Both of you guys were committing a felony. If you weren't committing a felony in the first place, the owner wouldn't have had to fire upon him. So because you guys commenced the whole thing, you're responsible for the charges. So in other words, do you think all 5 of them are going to get hit with the charge? Who's going to get hit with the first degree? Is it going to be, all of them? I think a couple of them, Elena for sure is going to get hit with the first degree. Okay. The guy who supplied the weapon, he might get hit with that first degree too, because he supplied the weapon. And not only that, he knew that the individual was in the trunk. If it wasn't for his weapon, they wouldn't have used it to unalive her. So he might get charged with that too. Be honest with you, all of them might get charged with first degree, except for whoever is going to cooperate. 17-year-old might just get felony M. So he might get just this charge, but not first degree. But we're going to see. I'm going to follow this case and let you guys know. What do you guys know about this? If you guys heard of this case, let me know below. Even if you haven't, if you have any information you'd like me to tell about this case, please contact me. Information is always down below. And, oh man, my condolences go out to the family. I'm so sorry this has happened to you guys. This should be more national news than what it is, but I see only the news looks like in that area is reporting on this. So I decided to take on the case and report it myself. Hopefully it spreads more. These 5 people need to be brought to justice. Let me know what you think should happen with these 5 individuals. Should all of them face the exact same charges? First degree, should all of them? If you ask me, all of them, all of them, no see daylight. That's the way I look at it. They planned it. It wasn't like no spare of the moment, no heat of the moment. You walked into the room and you caught your girlfriend cheating. Little different story. Sometimes something like that, it's like, okay, go serve your time, but your passion, your emotion took over. No, these people planned this out to the point to where they had to sabotage the car to get the car to stop running, and then kidnapped her, put her in the trunk. Meaning they had enough time to rethink this. They had time to rethink that, hey, this is a bad idea. We shouldn't do this. They had enough time to be like, hey, maybe I shouldn't give you my weapon because I don't know what you guys are going to do. Elena had enough time while she was sitting in that cop car to think, wow, yeah, this is bad. Maybe I shouldn't steal the cop car. So yeah, all of them got to go down. And I read you Julian's background. He just got out of prison already doing things. Send him right back. But hey, please like and subscribe. Turn notifications, all right? This is Fugitive TV. Please take care of one another. And not only that, if you want to further support the channel, my membership is below. I do members only videos just for members. And plus you get other discounts like off my merch, which is below or to the side. And you're going to get a personally signed book of my book when it comes out. My whole story about when it was on the run and everything. Now, the book is done. Okay, so everybody's asking, the book is done. But what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to work on an actual book deal because I don't want to sell all my rights to the publishing company, which they all want. And I would like to turn the book eventually into a series or a movie. That is my future goal. So if we can't work out the deal, then I'm going to take the book and publish it myself. So please I'm glad you guys have this much patience, but hey, the book has been done. but I'm just waiting on these publishing companies to get back to me to see what kind of deal we can work up. All right. So until then, please like, subscribe, take care of one another. All right. Love one another. Look out at your surroundings. Watch your surroundings. So until next time, Fugitive TV, I'm out.